In the early 1990s, before the internet exposed lies in seconds, before background checks were just a click away, all a man needed was confidence, a sharp suit, a calm voice, and the power to look you in the eye and make you believe. He didn't carry a gun, he didn't break into homes, he didn't run from the law. He walked into offices, churches, and community halls, and walked out with people's life savings. They called him a businessman, an investor, a financial genius, but behind the smiles, behind the handshakes, behind the polished desk, he was a master of illusion. His name was Marcus Hill. This is the story of how one man built an empire on trust, how he turned hope into currency, how he convinced honest people to hand him everything, and how, in the early 1990s, the FBI finally closed in. Chicago, 1992. A city full of ambition, a city full of dreams, and a city about to be deceived. Marcus Hill didn't look dangerous, he looked successful. He looked reliable. He looked like the kind of man you'd trust with your future. That was his greatest weapon. Some lost their retirement. Some lost their businesses. Some lost their faith in people. And none of them saw it coming. Because the most dangerous scammers don't look like criminals. They look like answers. This is not just a story about crime. It's a story about belief, about hope, about how dreams can be turned into traps. Welcome to America's smoothest scammer, caught in the 90s. The early 1990s were a different time in America. No smartphones, no social media, no instant Google searches. Information moved slowly. Trust moved fast. People relied on word of mouth, on appearances, on how confident someone sounded. If a man wore a suit and spoke with authority, he was believed. If his office looked professional, he was trusted. If his paperwork looked official, he was legitimate, or so people thought. America was changing, factories were closing, jobs were shifting. People were looking for new ways to survive, new ways to grow, new ways to secure their future. Investing became a dream, a promise of freedom, a way out. And Marcus Hill knew exactly how to sell that dream. He understood something most people didn't. People don't invest in numbers, they invest in hope. They invest in the belief that tomorrow can be better than today. He studied human behavior, fear, greed, trust, desperation, and he used them like instruments in a song. Back then, verification was slow. Bank records were private. Financial transparency was rare. You didn't check someone online. You checked their handshake, their confidence, their smile. And Marcus Hill's smile was perfect. He knew how to make people feel important, how to make them feel chosen, how to make them feel smart for trusting him. You're ahead of the curve. You see opportunities others don't. You're thinking like the wealthy. Words that made ordinary people feel extraordinary. And they believed him. Church members invested, small business owners invested, retirees invested, families invested. Because Marcus Hill didn't just promise money, he promised security, he promised dignity, he promised a future, but behind every promise was a lie. Behind every smile was calculation. Behind every success story was someone else's loss. And while the city slept, while investors dreamed of returns, the FBI was quietly watching, following trails, collecting complaints, studying patterns. Because even in a world without digital footprints, money always leaves a shadow. And Marcus Hill's shadow was growing too large to ignore.